Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Sorry, I hit my tripod. In today's video, we'll be learning about how we can draw the head from almost any angle. Of course, as it is fundamental, the most basic step to drawing the head from any angle is to learn about the skull. So that's what we are going to do today. We are going to learn about the skull and how it can be drawn from almost any angle. And that, of course, includes knowing the names of the bones, the overall structure of how they are drawn, the lines, of course, and what their function is, the development of how they develop in children and as we grow up, the alteration, recession, and projection, etc. Sometimes, as we can see, somebody's jaw is recessed or somebody's maxilla is recessed. We'll learn about that too, and then we'll go about the conclusion. First of all, the names of the bones. I think we can cover the names and the overall structure in one go. I'll draw the structure and then I'll also name them as we go on. So first of all, I'll draw over here front, side. Yeah, okay. Side. I was just checking to see if it's still in frame. Right, it still is. Okay. So from the front, let's focus on the front first. From the front, there's this shape, the overall cranium. This is what we call over here, right over here, the frontal bone. Frontal bone. Uh, right under the frontal bone, there's sphenoid bone, but I'll just write SB, sphenoid bone. Right over here, there's ethmoid bone. We'll just write EB. Right under over here is, of course, the eyes. The eyes are two big sockets. Remember this. The eyes are two big sockets that are sunken into the skull. Because I see a lot of this mistake that whenever people try to draw eyes from the side profile, like I'll just give this example. They try to draw eyes from the side profile, they make them right over here, next to this. But in fact, eyes are actually pretty sunken in, which people often draw them too close over here. That's my point. So we can see this from the front too, that the eyes are actually quite sunken into the skull, because remember their eye sockets implies that there's some it's sunken inside the skull. Right below it is the nasal bone. I'll write NB for it, nasal bone. From the side over here, those two lines come, and over here, right about here, this is the zygomatic bone. Zygomatic zygomatic bone. And zygomatic bone kind of extends right over here, right down, and about here. And of course, over here, we know we have the canines, the molars, the premolars, but it's debatable if they are bones. Some scientists they are in the skeletal system. Some say they are not bones, but it's debatable. But we are not here for a biology lesson. We are here for a art lesson. So right to this side, there's the vomer. It's an area inside the nose and it has a function, but I'm kind of forgetting the function. Of course, I forgot to mention over here, there's also the maxilla, and this bone, it comes from the both side, and it extends downward. It extends downward and forms this shape. Extends downward and forms this shape, right over here, and okay, there we go. Inside over here, we of course have the teeth. These extend all the way back over here. So that's the basic overall structure. Now, of course, there are a lot of things I forgot to mention. Like over here, there's the infraorbital. Over here, there's the inferior nasal concha. Over here, there's the orbital palate. There's the middle nasal concha. There's a perpendicular palate. Sorry, I'm forgetting the name. Kind of, oh, of course, mandible too. I think this is an important one I should mention, because we'll learn about the recession of these later. This is actually a really common bone to be recessed in people, especially with modern diets and stuff. So now we go to the side. I think we've discussed the front pretty well. I'll just draw a bit of the neck too. So this is the front. Now we go to the side. Wait, I'll just. Oh shit! Sorry, I'm tipping my table. Right. So this is the front. Now here's where the sides. So now here's the side. From the side, we can actually see the bones from that are on the front end, but they are just tilted sideward. Of course, I mean that's grass is green as take. I know. So the same bone over here, but because it's from the side, it's actually a lot more of an oval, kind of like this. Yeah, like this. We now here's the thing. From this, as we said, from the front is the frontal bone. From the side, it's actually the parietal bone. We'll just write PB for that. Parietal bone. But of course, right over here, there is the frontal bone. I'll just write FB for it again. Now, from the side, it goes down like this. Of course, there we have uh, the eye sockets too again. Can't forget those. Now, inside the eye socket, there are actually a lot of other bones. Like there's the lacrimal bone, and of course, all those. I don't think I need to mention every single one of them. But yeah, I'm just putting this out there that there are more bones inside the eye socket. So over here, there's a bit of this thing going on. It's called the zygomatic arch. This arch is called the zygomatic arch. We'll just write ZA, zygomatic arch, and from over here, this bone again comes up from the side like this, and there's the maxilla again. Remember the maxilla? Wait. Remember the maxilla? This is it. This is the maxilla from the side. We write maxilla. Maxilla, of course, from over here, the nasal bone comes, NB again, then zygomatic bone, can't forget this one. From over here, the jaw comes down and extends like this. I know this looks a little weird. I understand that, but it's just that human skull is kind of weird. It's nothing like what we imagine a face would look like. It's quite different from a face. But yeah. So from over here, right about here, there's this bone. This is the mandible again. Mandible. This is the mandible again, and from over here, this bone comes down. And of course, there's the canines, the premolar, the molars over here, and of course, from here, it's maxilla. Maxilla is right about there. Sorry, I forgot I mentioned it. Zygomatic bone, can't forget it. The ZB, zygomatic bone, and yeah, from over here, this caves in kind of, and goes back over here, right into this, and the the more, oh, I think I drew the chain a little too extended, my bad. It was more like this actually. So, this is the basic overall view of the skull, the front and the side. Wait for a second. I'll just. Okay, there, much better. So this is the front and the side view of the skull with all of the bones. Now we have covered these two sections. We'll go on to the function of these bones. I'll I'll try to make it as brief as possible because this is not a biology lesson again, but it is important somewhat in drawing, especially if you're drawing in dynamic poses where you need to know what every bone is doing. There you actually need this information. So yeah, frontal bone, part of the cranium, protects the brain. We write B over here. It protects the brain. Eye socket. It gives the eyes an area to rest in, a little deep into the eyes. Gives them the area. It gives them an area to rest in. The the vomer, the vomer and the nasal bone. More importantly, it is the area that allows for passage of airway for us to inhale air. In inspiration is the process of taking in air. Mandible helps chew us, like whenever we chew food, it helps us chew that food. The molars, of course, same function. Maxilla is the projected part of the face. It also helps with breathing. It also helps with breathing, and the infraorbital bones, of course, they are under the under eye bones. They also give the eye an area to rest in because sometimes the eye socket isn't enough. So yeah, that's about all of all of their functions. This is just a bit of a knowledge tidbit, I guess. This isn't really important for the video. Development. Here's what happens when we are in age to 12 age. I think 4 to 12 something. Our mandible, it projects outward and upward. This is what's supposed to happen usually, right? Outward and upward. This is what's supposed to happen normally. Of course, we'll get into recession and projection a little later, but Yeah, it's supposed to project. That's how it develops in normal healthy kids through bone remodeling. But of course, that's a biology topic. I don't think we need to get into that. Alteration, recession, and projection. Now, in kids, we often see this. I'll draw an example to show you. This is, for example, this is a recessed person. Recessed person. Okay, we'll just draw a recessed person over here. We often see this happen instead of what we usually expect what we usually expect to happen, something like this. Please do keep in mind these are really bad illustrations. Actually, this guy looks like a Neanderthal skull. But as I was saying, sometimes we see this happen. This is when the jaw recesses backwards. Now, the reason I'm teaching you this is because I want to put it out there that no face is the same. No two people have the same face. So it's important to consider that no person in real life will always have this Chad ass projected jaw. It's very rare and found in very few people. A lot of people actually have a mild recession of some of their parts. And now I'll put up an example of a jaw recession. Now I'll put up an example of a maxillary recession. Maxilla is essentially this bone. When a maxilla is recessed, it's most commonly viewed like this. Your eye is way too close over here. This is what a recessed maxilla looks like. Very, very bad drawing, I know. This is what a projected maxilla would look like. The eye sits a bit deeper further back, and yeah, this is what a projected maxilla would look like. This is the resection and prosection part of the of this. Now there's also projection. Sometimes it's seen most commonly in chins when the chin projects a little too much. Uh, I have some good examples of this. I'll put them on screen. So, yeah, alteration, resection, and projection are also covered. Conclusion. Now you know the major bones of the skull. You also know their functions. You also know their alteration and how they recess and project. Sometimes you have a basic overview of what bones are, and you now know how to draw them. At least I hope you do. Next video, I'll cover up the rest of the body and its entire skeletal system, of course. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Next video, we'll be covering that, and I'll of course simplify it. Thank you. Have a nice day.